Right, good day everyone. This is grade 12 Life Science Paper 1, Human Endocrine System. Therefore, now 2.4, the diagram below represent part of the central nervous system of a human. And then now here we are given A, labeled A, here it is labeled B, C, D, E, and we are given a corpus callosum. Therefore, now 2.4.1, 2.4.1, they're saying identify part C. Identify part C. So this is part C. Therefore, now part C, it is what we call a spinal cord. A spinal cord. It is part C, a spinal cord. Therefore, now this is A. And then now B, they said the gland E. The gland E. So then our gland E, it is what we call a pituitary gland. A pituitary gland. A pituitary gland. A pituitary gland. Therefore, now 2.4.2. Give the letter of the part that controls the voluntary actions. The voluntary actions. So voluntary actions are controlled at part A. The voluntary actions are controlled at part A. Therefore, now 2.4.3. There's a describe the location of the corpus callosum. Therefore, now corpus callosum is located between the two hemispheres of the cerebrum. It is located between the two hemispheres of the cerebrum. Between the two hemisphere of the what? Of the cerebrum. It is located between the two hemispheres of the what? Of the cerebrum. Therefore, now 2.4.4. A learner suffered a brain injury during a rugby match. He could still breathe properly, but they experienced the occasional loss of memory and balance. Now, explain why. A. The learner could still breathe properly. It is because of part B, which is the medulla oblongata. It controls the breath, right? And it was not injured. Therefore, medulla oblongata was not injured. Remember, the medulla oblongata is the one that controls the breath. Therefore, now if it was not injured, therefore the learner could still breathe properly. Therefore, now B, it is still possible that the injury affected part B. It is because the learner lost balance, right? Due to no coordination of voluntary movement by part B, right? Part B, it coordinates the movement, right? Therefore, now it is possible that the injury affected part B. Why? Because now the learner lost balance, right? The learner lost balance. The learner lost the balance. The learner lost the balance. Therefore, now, due to no coordination of voluntary movements, due to no coordination of what? Of voluntary movements. Of voluntary movements. Very good. You must know that part B, it is the one that controls the movement, right? How people work or walk. It is influenced by part B. Therefore, now the learner lost balance, right? Therefore, that's for part B. Therefore, now C, they said the injury of the learner could also be affected because of the injury. Yes, because now the loss of memory indicates a possible injury to part A, right? Loss of memory. Loss of memory indicates the what? The possible injury. Possible injury. Injury to what? To part A. Part A, it is what we call cerebrum, right? Cerebrum. Therefore, now loss of memory indicates the possible injury of the cerebrum, or one can say it is also responsible for hearing, right? The interpretation of sound. Very good. Very good. So then now let's continue to the so 1.5, the diagram below shows the interaction between the two endocrine glands. Therefore, now here we have pituitary glands, we have hormone A, we have hormone C, and we also have gland B. Therefore, now 1.5.1. Name the type of interaction that occurs between hormone A and hormone B. It is what we call a negative feedback mechanism, right? Negative feedback mechanism, right? Mechanism. Very good. Therefore, now 1.5.2a, identify gland B, right? Gland B. Gland B is what we call a thyroid, right? It is a gland, a thyroid. Very good. Therefore, now B, hormone A. Hormone A, it is what we call a thyroid stimulating hormone, or TSH, right? A thyroid stimulating hormone. It is hormone A. Therefore, now C, hormone C. It is what we call a thyroxine, right? Thyroxine. Thyroxine, it is the hormone, and then now thyroid, it is the gland. Very good. Therefore, now 1.5.3. Name the disorder that can result when gland B is overstimulated and becomes enlarged. Therefore, now it is what we call a goiter, right? A goiter. A goiter. Therefore, now 1.5.4. Which hormone, A or C, will be expected to be high in the blood of the person with the disorder named in question 1.5.3? It is hormone A, right? Hormone A. Very good. Let's continue to the following question. Right, therefore now the diagram below is 3.4. The diagram below represents the endocrine glands in human. Therefore now 3.4.1. Give the letter and the name of the endocrine gland responsible for the reabsorption of water. Number A, reabsorption of water. It is what we call a pituitary gland, right? Pituitary gland. Very good. Pituitary gland. Therefore now B, maintenance of the metabolic rate. It is what we call a thyroid. It is A, right? This is A, pituitary gland. Therefore now B, maintenance of metabolic rate. It is what we call thyroid gland. Thyroid gland. Thyroid gland, which is what? Which is part B. This is our thyroid gland. It is part B. Very good. Therefore now C, controls the control of the glucose level in blood. It is what we call pancreas, which is D, right? Pancreas, which is D. Therefore now 3.4.2a, they're saying give the name of the hormone that stimulates follicle development in the ovary. It is what we call FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. Therefore now B, they are saying promotes the growth of the skeleton and skeleton muscles. Therefore now it is what we call a growth hormone. Growth hormone, right? Growth hormone, or GH. Right? Therefore now C, increases the glucose level in the blood. It is what we call glucagon. Very good. Therefore now 3.4.3, they are saying name the disorder caused by an imbalance of thyroxine level. It is what we call a goiter, right? It is what we call a goiter. It is what we call a goiter. Therefore now 3.4.4. Explain why the pancreas is considered both an exocrine and endocrine gland. So then now a pancreas secretes what we call pancreatic juice, right, through the duct, right? So then now it also secretes hormone directly into the blood, right, such as insulin and glucagon. So then now firstly we can say that pancreas secretes pancreatic juice, right, secretes what we call pancreatic juice, right, through ducts. Very much important. Therefore now we can also say that it secretes hormone directly into blood, not through ducts this time, but directly into the blood, right? So then now it also secretes hormones directly into the blood. So then now into the blood. So then now this is why the pancreas is considered to be exocrine and endocrine. Therefore now it can use a duct, or sometimes it can use processes such as diffusion to secrete hormone directly into the blood, hormones such as insulin and glucagon. Therefore now if you want a full session on these topics, don't hesitate to WhatsApp or contact the number on the description below. Therefore, let's go to the last question. Now, 3.2, the diagram below shows the growth of the follicle and the levels of ovarian hormones A and B during the menstrual cycle. Therefore, now 3.2.1a, identify hormone A. Hormone A is what we call estrogen, right? Estrogen. Very good. Therefore now B, hormone B, this is our hormone B. Hormone B, it is what we call a progesterone, right? Progesterone. Very good. Therefore now 3.2.2, they're saying 3.2, they're saying, on which day did ovulation take place? Therefore now it took place on the 14th day, right? The 14th day. On the 14th day. Very good. Therefore now 3.2.3, describe the relationship between structure C and hormone B from 20 to 26 days. From 20 to 26 days. Right? We have to describe the relationship between structure C and the hormone B. Okay. Therefore, now we can say that as structure C, which is the corpus luteum decreases, the levels of hormone B, which is the progesterone, decreases. Right? As the structure C decreases, therefore now the hormone B, which is the progesterone, also decreases. Right? We can say what? The structure C, as the structure C decreases, degrades, the level of hormone of B, the level of hormone B, which is the progesterone, also what? Also decreases. Which is the progesterone, sorry, it decreases. The level of hormone B decreases. So that's the relationship. As structure C decreases, or degenerates, therefore now the level of hormone B also decreases. As structure C degenerates, therefore now the level of hormone B also decreases. Therefore now 3 .2.4. Explain the consequences if the Graafian follicle fail to secrete hormone A. Therefore, now there will be no thickening of endometrium, right, for the implantation or the attachment of embryo. Therefore, now there will be no thickening of the endometrium. There will be no thickening of the what? Of the endometrium, right? There will be no thickening of the endometrium for the what? For the implantation. Very good. Therefore, now 3.2.5, state one effect of low levels of hormone B in the blood during menstrual cycle. Therefore, now we can say no inhibition of pituitary gland from producing FSH, right? No inhibition. There's no inhibition of pituitary gland, right, from producing FSH. Very good. So there will be no inhibition of pituitary gland from producing what? FSH. Right? That's the effect of low levels of hormone B, which is the progesterone in the blood during menstrual cycle. Thank you for watching.